Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going over this UTG Pro rail that you see here in my hand. This one is a viewer request. Tons of people have requested this thing. Viewers have been reporting in really good results with it, and I was kind of skeptical at first in all reality because UTG, at least a few years ago anyway, most of the stuff they were bringing in was not exactly of the highest quality and wasn't exactly performing all that well in most things that I read. But they introduced their UTG Pro line recently, and they've had a lot better reviews, at least on that line. So this is the first product I've got in the UTG Pro line. So what we're going to do next is do a little bit more shooting and then get into the close-up and let you guys know how it works, some of the specs of it and stuff like that, and then we'll let you know what we think of it at the end. The rails come in varying sizes from 9 inches to the 15-inch model that we have here. So this is the big, long one, the longest one they make. A lot of cool things going on in the rail here. One of the things I really like about it is the lockup system here. So basically, here's your traditional barrel nut. This is the part that's actually going to thread around the aluminum receiver, your aluminum upper receiver. This piece actually goes inside of it, and you're going to line it up a certain way. It comes with these shims here. Honestly, I didn't need either of those shims, but if you do, the shims are there so that way you can time it properly. But there's a pretty wide variance of how you actually need to time it on the barrel, so I can't imagine there's too many rifles, or uppers I should say, that are actually going to need that. But that's how it works. And then this piece locks into here. The screws go through the rail here into there, and that's pretty much it. It's a simple system, but it's very secure. And one of the things that makes it secure, in addition to the actual nuts here, is the fact that the rail goes around the outside of the upper receiver and actually locks in. And that way, if you actually go to twist it either way, right or left, both the top portion and the bottom portion of the rail are going to hit on the upper receiver. So it's really kind of a cool thing that just prevents any sort of rotation. Even if in the off chance that your barrel nut failed under adverse conditions, this part is also going to be there as a fail-safe to prevent any kind of movement of the rail. Like many competitor rails out there, this one's made from 6061 T6 aluminum, and this one has a Cerakote finish on there, so it's a pretty durable finish. We've had a few little nicks on there because I certainly don't baby my guns. I don't beat on them, but I don't baby them either. So it's holding up pretty well, as you'd expect. We have our 1913 style rails on top, and they are T-marked. Additionally, I think on a 15-inch rail, there's 37 rails on top, so a lot of different mounting positions. If you want to use that to mount your accessories, you can also obviously mount it in the KeyMod slots here. There's 112 different KeyMod slots on there, which is really kind of cool. They're all the way around. And what that's going to do is give you just a litany of different mounting options, but it also really helps keep the rail itself cool. So there's a lot of ventilation going on there. Any rail that's going to be sort of a narrower rail, it's going to get hot. And people always ask, does it get hot when you shoot rapidly whenever I do any of these Handguard reviews? And the answer is yeah, because even if the rail itself didn't get hot, which generally is not the issue, just having your hand near the barrel and near the gas block is going to generate heat. So there will be heat coming off there, but this one's very well ventilated, obviously with the KeyMod slots as well as the slots on top. So it's going to do about as well as any rail out there in terms of keeping it cool. Depending on the length, you're going to get different weights, but for the 15-inch one, we'll throw it on here. I believe the published spec is 12.1 ounces, so we're going to throw the barrel nut on there as well. See if we can actually get them all on there. Do it that way. How about that? And see if we can get near the published weight. There you go, 12.1 ounces with the barrel nut, so a very lightweight system overall. In terms of internal dimensions, we'll go ahead and put the caliper on it here real quick, see what we get. Internal dimensions, you can see it there, 1.35. And the outside dimensions there. Get it. I'll flip it over here in a second, don't worry. There we go. You can see we're coming in right at 1.49. This particular handguard has been on and off the rifle 3 times, just swapping barrels and stuff like that, because obviously we review a lot of things around here. So we actually ran into a problem the first time we went to take it off. So whenever I put any sort of screw on a rifle, I always put a little bit of blue Loctite on there just to ensure it doesn't back out under recoil vibration and stuff like that. So when I went to remove the screws, 2 of the 6 actually broke, completely broke off. and were stuck in the little handguard, inner handguard piece, inner barrel nut piece, I should say. So they were stuck in there. I obviously was not happy with that. I called up Leapers. I called their headquarters and told them what was going on, and they actually told me that they had a bad batch of screws go out, and that mine were probably some of them. So they actually sent out replacements without issue, without question. And I think it took like 2 days for them to get here. So with that experience, customer service wise, I'm certainly happy. Obviously, we want the screws not to strip out, but it happened. So they took care of it, which is really what you want from a company. So a few other things we didn't talk about this handguard. First off, the UTG Pro line is made in the USA, so it's made 100% in the USA, so a lot of folks out there certainly are going to appreciate that. And these ones, in terms of cost, are going to come in, obviously it's going to depend on the length. So the 9-inch ones, if you look around, can generally be found around $100. The 15-inch, I think the MSRP on it is $179. If you look around, you can find them for less. I'll post a link down below where you guys can pick these up if you're actually looking to get one. But obviously that's a relatively low price point there, so very competitive with other, free float handguards out there on the market. And so far, outside of the screw issue, it's performed very well. And like I was talking about earlier, even with the screws not being in there, I was shooting this rifle and had no issue. I would be willing to bet if you even had 2 screws in here, the way that lockup system is on the upper receiver, you'd probably still be just fine. So obviously you don't want to depend on that, but it's nice to have should you ever have to do that and depend on it. But that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions about the handguard we didn't cover here in the video, by all means, post below in the comments section. You can also post over at my Facebook page as always. But thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing, and I hope to see you in the next video.